If you're new to playing doubles, here are 3 tips that are really going to help you. The first tip is the most basic, the second tip is my favorite, and the third tip is the most advanced. Tip number 1, where to stand to start the point. When you're the server, you should stand about 3 feet inside the singles line. The server's partner, smack dab in the middle of the service box. The returner's partner on the service line, but not in the middle of your half of the service line, wants you to be shaded slightly toward the middle tee than the side tee. And the returner, you're going to base where you stand on the quality of the serve. Let's say someone has a very soft serve. Well, don't stand really far back, and then when they dink it over the net, you're struggling to go up and get that. Well, of course, you're going to stand up more in no man's land because it's such a weak serve. But if they have a really strong serve, you're going to want to stand farther back. And there might be quite a difference between the speed of the first serve and second serve. So on the first serve, you might stand farther back. They hit the net, partner, puts it in the pocket, and then you might say, okay, now I'm going to stand farther up because they tend to hit their second serves weaker. Tip number 2, this is my favorite, how to know where to hit the ball no matter where you are on the court. It's so simple. Hit the ball to the opponent who is standing where you're standing. You'll be right about 90% of the time, and it's so easy. Most points you play, especially if you're new to doubles, are going to be played 1 up, 1 back versus 1 up, 1 back. 1 up, 1 back versus 1 up and 1 back. Because of that, you have a prolonger and you have a point ender. Let me explain. The players in the back, the baseliners, we call them the prolongers because they prolong the point. They should keep the point going by simply hitting cross court to each other. So baseliners hit to baseliners. But eventually, and inevitably, a ball from a baseliner is going to go to a net person. Now, a net person needs to be ready. What they should not do is hit it back to the baseliner. Remember, net players aim for net players. Net players are aggressive. They tend to get high balls, overheads, high volleys, medium volleys. They tend to get balls above net level that they can hit with pace. What you don't want to do is hit to the baseliner who has more time to react. So it's so simple. You want to hit to the feet or to the legs, the shins, the knees, somewhere low on that player, and you hit it hard right at them, and the ball goes right by them or it deflects off their racket, and they cannot react. Baseliners are looking to keep the point going, so they do that by hitting to the other baseliner. Net players are aiming for each other because that player doesn't have enough time to react, and you can easily win the point. If you follow that strategy 100% of the time, you will be right 90% of the time, and you will win so many points because of it. Now, before I share tip number 3 with you, if you're looking to win more doubles matches, then definitely check out the new rules of doubles by Fuzzy Yellow Balls. Will Hamilton teams up with Craig O'Shaughnessy, the leading stats guy in the world for what's working on the pro tours, both men's and women's doubles, and he's sharing this information with you, the recreational player. To check out the new rules of doubles, you can grab the Fuzzy Yellow Balls app in the description or just wait till the end of the video when the link will pop up on the screen. And if you're looking for new people in your local area to play matches against or practice with, maybe you want to find a local league at your level, or you'd love to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link for Play Your Court. And it's playyourcourt.com/2minutetennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. Tip number 3, when you're at the net, move forward and back like the ball's a magnet and it's pulling you toward it. I'll explain. When you're at the net, you're trying to play both offense and defense. And the way to do that is to, as the ball goes cross court, you follow the ball. The ball's a magnet, so as the ball goes cross court, you move toward the ball. So in this scenario, we've got the server who hit the return to the returner, and the returner hits back to the server. In this scenario, this would be wrong for the net players to stay in that position. It would be incorrect for the server's partner to stay in the middle of the box. They should move back as if they're getting pulled toward the ball. The returner's partner will no longer stay on the service line. They should move forward because they're attacking the ball. They're getting pulled toward the ball. In this scenario, the returner's partner is now the most offensive player on the court. because if any shot that the server hits is anywhere close to this player, they're going to intercept it and nail it at this person. So good thing that this player moved back to give themselves a little bit more time. Now, if the server, after getting the return back to them, hits a good shot back to the baseliner, because baseliners should hit to baseliners, then these two players switch positions again. This player doesn't care about the returner's partner anymore. The server's partner attacks, and they're trying to come toward this player and become bigger and cover more angle and more space. This player is then going to move back to buy themselves time in case their partner hits it to the net player and the ball gets nailed to them. So as the ball goes cross court, the net players switch positions. Here's a question for you. Who's the most offensive player on the court right now? Do you know? It's the returner's partner. They've moved forward and attacked. Do you know who the most defensive player is on the court right now? The server's partner. Because they're up close and they will not have a lot of time if the server accidentally hits it to the net player and the net player nails it. This idea of following the ball as if it's a magnet explains why the server's partner starts in the middle of the box and the returner's partner starts on the line. If you ask most players, why do you start in this formation? What you'll get is this player saying, well, I stand here because I can call the serve in or out. That's a nice side benefit, but it's truly not the reason why you start on the line. The reason you start on the line is because you are a little bit afraid of your partner, the returner, hitting it right to the net player, and the net player can nail you with the ball. So you're waiting to see what your partner does with their shot. If the returner, this is you, if your partner gets it back to the server, well, now there's no reason to be on the line because the ball didn't go to the person who can nail the ball at your legs, right? So you're going to now attack and you're going to be the offensive player, which is why this person should then move back. Notice the difference? Now this person's in the middle of the box and now this person is on the service line. So this is the offensive player, the most offensive player. This is the most defensive player. If the ball goes to the net player, bam, the ball gets nailed right at that player, right at their knees. They're not going to be able to react. But if the server does their job, my favorite tip number 2, hit the ball to the opponent who's standing where you're standing, all of a sudden you switch again. So when you're at the net in doubles, you don't just watch the ball go by. What you do is you move up and back to play offense and defense. When you start applying that to your game, you will be able to literally beat players who have been playing tennis or playing doubles specifically for 10 plus years, because most players just watch the ball go by and they don't play the appropriate offense and defense that you'll be doing because of this video. So know where to stand at the beginning of the point, hit the ball to the opponent who is standing where you are standing, and when you're at the net and you try to get the ball, but the ball goes by you behind you, move back. If your partner does a great job of getting it back to the other baseliner, then move forward. Start moving up and back as if the ball is a magnet pulling you toward it, and there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.